What's up, guys? This is Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to give you guys a very short update on what's happening with NIO, Tesla, SPY, and the overall market. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. Anyways, as far as the market is going, NIO is testing resistance at 4.8. We were not able to crack past that for today, so we're looking at support at 4.61. And we'll see what happens in this range. If we break 4.8, we're looking for a breakout for that very close to 4.8 to $5 target. But because we got this rejection, there's going to be a risk of us coming down to 4.6 before we try to bounce again. So please keep that in mind. Now, for other factors out there, just know that as far as the market goes, a lot of tech stocks from Apple to Microsoft and Google all were in the green, but the rest of the stocks out there were more like mixed. So please keep that in mind. We had a very mixed market, at least to start things off. Now, as far as NIO goes, we had our 3,000th power swap station. It took only 5 days to go from 2,900 to 3,000. It's a good expansion in China. And there's a lot of hopes that the Envoy and Firefly brands are going to boost NIO's sales in 2025. I really hope for that, especially considering that their deliveries were at about 31,000 for the month of December. That's a 73% increase compared to last year. I also want to mention that as far as NIO goes, we are seeing a lot more of these buyers who are trying to defend it, but my only concern is the fact that we were not able to close above 4.8. Now, heading into tomorrow, just know that at 10 o'clock a.m., we have the ISM Services Business Employment, the business activity, employment, new orders, and prices, all that data is coming out. So we'll see what that leads to. Look for some volatility 30 minutes after the stock market opens. We also have Jefferies announcing earnings after market close, at least for Wednesday. And then on top of that, just know that for the Fear and Greed Index, we are currently at fear as the most likely sentiment right now. We used to be at extreme fear, but now there's buyers defending, putting us only at fear. And we'll see if this ends up perpetuating or not. Momentum is also at fear currently. We'll see if that shifts. Besides that, the put to call option ratio went a little bit down because there are some puts being closed, and volatility remains neutral. Now, besides that, I'm not seeing anything else that's too crazy on the news. As far as NIO goes, because we were not able to hold above 4.5, I do want to say that I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that we were not able to do that. So there's going to be a risk of us dipping to about that 4.6 area. And then we'll have to see what kind of reaction we get from there. We're going to likely see a little bit of a dip. We'll see if we can get a bounce off 4.6, but I do expect us to test the 4.6s before it attempts to get back up to 4.8. So please keep that in mind. As far as SPY goes, SPY has a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder here. The problem I have with SPY is the fact that we were not able to break past 602. We had to break that in order for us to turn back to bullish. And because SPY was not able to do that, it's not the best of signs. Now, there is that gap to fill below, so it looks to me like if we can't hold 595, there's going to be a risk of us dipping to about 592, especially after the data comes out tomorrow. So there's a good chance we dip a bit before it attempts maybe a rebound if we could hold 591 as our main support. So I expect us to dip to about the 591.6 to 92 area, and we'll see if we bounce or not. Otherwise, this is just going to continue to dip. So look for a dip, and we'll see how it goes here, but please keep that in mind. On top of this, when it comes to ES, we are making lower highs right now. As you can see, there's a bit of a downtrend right here. We're not able to break past that high up there, and we still have the head and shoulders on the larger time frames. So this could be dipping to about 6,000 flats. So please keep that in mind. For Nvda, we're trying to hold above 150. As long as that holds, we're looking for 152.5. For Bitcoin, we look a little bit more bullish. We have to try to hold above 102,000. If that's the case, we're going to look for 104,000. So the market's very mixed right now, so you have to wait and see for the price action to give us a good update on how things are looking. For Tesla, we tried to push a bit. There might be a retest of about 417, but then it could dip again because overall Tesla's making lower highs. So we did not do a good job at holding above 420. We pushed only to get a rejection. So look for an attempt to push for 417, then maybe a dip back down. If we don't close above 410, there's going to be a risk of 402 again for a little bit of a decline. So there's still some weakness on Tesla stock. We pushed and got a rejection. Look for a rebound for 417. If we don't break past 420, we could be dipping back down. So please keep that in mind. For other factors out there, we have, just to double check, we have NQ. NQ is technically on it's on a bit of a downtrend. We have to see if we can break past 21,800 to push for 22,000. If we can't, we're looking for a dip to 21,582. So we are getting rejection here. We're making lower highs, and there's going to be a risk of us dipping to 21,582. We'll see what kind of reaction we get, so please keep that in mind. For the QQQ, we're making lower highs right over here. We have 528 as our resistance, and if this fails, we're looking for 520 as our main support. So I favor downside a little bit more, and we'll have to see what happens after that. For Apple, Apple's technically on a downtrend. We were not able to break past 247. So this is favoring a move back down to about 241. Then we'll just have to see what happens after that. So please keep that in mind. For Palantir is looking a little bit weaker. We are technically rejecting again. I wanted to see this hold above 77. So because we haven't done that, there's going to be a risk of us returning to 74. So please keep that in mind. For the Russell 2000, we are showing some weakness. We were trying to break past 228. We need to break that to fill this imbalance for 230. If we can't do that and we start off with this dip, we're going to be looking for 223, eventually back down to 221 to be tested. For AMD, we're looking pretty good. We're outperforming the market with the nice slanted inverse head and shoulders. But as long as we're above 230, we could see 130. As long as we're above 130, we could be looking for 132. But the problem is, what's going to happen after that? We still have this gap down here to fill. So if we do push a bit, we'll always see a rejection and move back down. For coin, we look a little bit more bullish. We need to try to hold above 287. As long as we're above that, so we're looking for 293, then 300 is our target. So we'll see if those break or not. Amazon's at resistance right here at this 229 area. If we can't hold above that, there's going to be a risk of us dipping to about 225. So be a little bit careful with this. Might be a little bit of a dip that's coming for 225 before it tries to bounce again. My problem is, even though Meta has a double bottom, there's tough resistance right here at this 634 area, which is where we tested today. This is tough resistance, so we'll see if we can retest 630 and bounce. If we hold 630, this should rebound for closer to 640. If we dip and lose 630, though, this could be dumping back down to 623, so please keep that in mind. For Microsoft, we have to try to hold above 426. This could rebound a bit for 429, then start dumping for 426.5. And if that fails us, we're looking for a dip for 424. And for Google, we have this resistance around this 198 to 200 area. If that does not hold, we could be dipping back down to 196.5 or below. So make sure you watch these levels very closely. With that being said, I thank you all so much for listening, guys. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. As far as the market goes and as far as NIO goes, I do see a risk of us dipping lower for about 4.6. We'll see if NIO bounces off that or not, because we tried to hold 4.8 and we didn't do the best of jobs of holding above that. So I think that there's going to be that risk of us potentially coming down, at least as time goes on. I don't say this to be negative or anything like that. I just want to tell the truth about what I see on the charts, and that's what I'm going to continue to do from this point on. I thank you all so much for listening, so please have a good rest of your day. I do want to note, guys, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I might have a cold right now, so if my voice sounds a little bit groggy or different, that's the reason why. I hope I feel better very soon. If I don't, we'll see if I could upload a video tomorrow. I really hope I could. But with that being said, I really just wish the best for everyone out there. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And I'll be back with another update, at least for tomorrow after the market closes. Just know one more thing about the week. There is data coming out for tomorrow, and then we have trading on Wednesday. The market's going to be closed on Thursday because of Jimmy Carter's birthday. And then Friday, the market's going to be trading again. So we only have 3 trading days left for this week. We have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, and the stock market's going to be closed because of Jimmy Carter's funeral. I just want to send condolences to his family, by the way. It's very sad to see him pass away. But that is what's essentially going on. The market's going to be closed on Thursday, so just keep that in mind. Anyways, have a good day, guys. Thank you for listening, and peace out.